It's just the thing with the bit. And he's hot. Oh my god. Welcome to me talking about One Piece chapter 1179. We couldn't do a no face cam talk about it, okay? Okay, the way the chapter opens up, it's finally giving us some real discussion about what's happening to the Holy Land. Everyone is starving up there, weakening their military might, and also causing some unintended effects, which is that York is starving. She refuses to work on the Mother Flame because she's like, I'm not getting fed. You're supposed to treat me like a celestial dragon. It's incredible. Love it. I love how much we're seeing how stressed out the elders are. The revolutionaries caused the starvation, but what's currently happening is some additional threats that we don't know anything about. The elders seem to argue whether it'd be worth sending their admirals away to Elbath to avoid having Imu leave. They are so desperate, but they just can't let the admirals leave. They need the extra firepower. There also appears to be a strong connection that Imu has to the Holy Land because they're all worried about Imu leaving. Particularly Saint Jupiter and Marcus Mars have the face of pain and agony when they're coming to the realization that Imu will be leaving the Holy Land. Will the elders no longer have access to Imu's powers? Will they just be completely helpless? Or is Imu keeping some sort of threat away from the Holy Land? Because when we see Imu landing on Elbath, storm clouds appear above the Holy Land. And at the beginning of the chapter, those clouds, it was a clear sky. So I'm wondering if that is just the power that Imu commands when they are teleporting through this abyssal ritual circle, or if it is more like Imu is keeping something away. And I love the way of how they're building up Imu's mindset for taking on this great sacrifice of leaving the Holy Land. Because as the elders are arguing with each other, Imu begins to think about all the things that led up to this inevitable conclusion that Joy Boy would return. Rocks, Roger, Shirahoshi, Shanks, Harold, Loki, Whitebeard, Luffy, Blackbeard, Lily, and Vivi. And during all of this, my heart was pounding faster and faster because we are getting to get the insight into Imu. Imu thinking about everything that has been inevitable so far and how they need to eliminate the threat immediately. But the thing that Imu says at the end of his him building up this mentality that he needs to do this wasn't that I need to kill Joy Boy. I need to stop Davy. The thing he said was I needed to retrieve Vivi. I was so scared. I was so afraid that he wasn't going to go to Elbath, but instead steal Vivi away. Now, he does go to Elbath, but that does not mean that Vivi's out of the clear. Whatever happens in Elbath, Vivi is still in grave danger. Or, I didn't even think about this. What if Morgans is already here on Elbath? Maybe Imu wasn't so insane. Maybe Imu knew that Vivi was here on Elbath. Morgan's there oh, look at this. Look what's going on here, everyone. Let's record this. Insane. Now, in some lighter notes, we get a funny moment where Zoro is thinking about slicing up Saint Summers' steel heart, which it's hilarious, but also he has a steel heart. That was interesting. I know we saw the heart in the last chapter, but now having it be confirmed as a steel heart, being this more mechanical thing that clearly is tying his life source to this. So does that mean that all of these God Knights who have this form of regeneration have this steel heart? Is this another devil fruit that is causing this heart to be allowing them to live and to regenerate? What does the pact actually do to you? And then also there's a moment where Gertie's just like playing with Summers' body like magnets, which is just very, very funny. I also love that even Loki mentions the only way to thaw out these like ice attacks are by using Ragnir again. So already Gunko's going to be in there for a while. Until Brook wakes up, Gunko's just going to be in there for a while. Lastly, okay, we're here and now. We're talking about Emu's arrival, and insane. First off, Emu arrives in Quest Castle and coughs up blood. To me, I'm indicating that it is taking a substantial amount of power or health or something out of Emu to cough up blood. At the same time, this is also occurring when Emu begins their transformation. Do they transform because they left the Holy Land? Is the Holy Land keeping their transformation, their devil fruit sealed? And then now that they are becoming this devil outside, their life source is being sapped? Like, there's something strange going on because Oda really wanted to make sure that we saw the coughing up of blood. There's clearly some sort of life force, some sort of effort, some sort of pain that Emu is feeling when they are outside the Holy Land, or at least when they're taking this transformation on or teleporting. This is also the first time we have seen such a powerful like summoning of someone. Right? Not only are we getting the ritual circles on the ground and in the sky, Black Thunder striking down, more threatening than what we saw with Saint J. Way more. And even the homes and the trees surrounding Elbaf are turning into these nightmare creatures, having the darkened silhouette similar to Emu. Laughing. They're doing a song, right? It is turning into an evil Toon World, right? Luffy presenting this laughter, this happiness, the buildings and everything wobbling. The same thing is happening with Emu showing up, but instead nightmare trees, nightmare homes, singing this creepy song. Dorororo dun 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 dorororo dun 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 dorororo dun 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 dun. Creepy, absolutely creepy, but absolutely amazing as well. Cannot believe how incredibly frightening this all is. Everyone is feeling the Conqueror's Haki that's being swept through the entirety of Elbaf. Everyone feels it. Everyone is afraid. And then we see Saint Nerona Emu looking hot as hell. Holy shit. Cool sick ass hand tattoo with a gigantic eye, huge devil horns that like curve back and then curve forward a bit. The staff looks sick. We got flames on one end and we got a little squiggly line on the other end. It looks super dope. We see the devil tail, just the demonic eyes. They even have a huge halo in the back with a bunch of different eyes all over. There's also a potential that Emu could be a Lunarian, but it's hard for me to believe Emu to be Lunarian just because of the way the world government has treated Lunarians. But the fact that they are from the Red Line, I feel like either Emu was maybe experimented on to have the powers of Lunarians, and maybe they have some sort of connection to the Red Line, because we do see when the clouds get stormy above the Holy Land, we also see a panel of the Red Line too. But maybe Emu has some sort of deeper connection, maybe a partial Lunarian bloodline or something like that. But we'll see. We'll see. Okay. Oh my God. This chapter is just, oh my God. What a menacing character this is. And if Emu's gonna go back and watch my previous video where I said that Emu doesn't feel like a threat anymore, even when Emu ran back to the Holy Land only to say BRB to the elders, I couldn't help but laugh. No wonder they allowed the Yonkos to exist, because they were all afraid of them. Look, okay, I didn't think Emu was gonna take offense to that, okay? I was just trying to catch up to all the One Piece chapters and write them all together in a nicely. I didn't realize your game, Emu. I apologize. Oh my god, dude, what an awesome reveal of building up the threat of Emu in this chapter about like, yes, Oda was like, I fooled you, motherfucker. I knew you were gonna think that, oh, Emu ran scared, help me. And then all of a sudden, Emu going, I'm back. You think you wanna mess with me now? I'm like, nope, I'm good. I'm good. I was just about to leave Elbath, actually. I'll see you later. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. But I can't forget what we saw at the end of this panel, okay? We saw Emu's sexy face, but their title, World Government Creator, one of the first 20 ability, Devil's Fruit. Now, this is extremely important because yes, I think we all kind of understood that Emu probably created the world government, but to be one of the first 20 abilities is fascinating. Now, the translator note specifically mentions that devil in Devil's Fruit is spelled like Akuma in katakana, and typically the word devil fruit, devil is spelled in kanji. In Japanese, katakana is typically used for foreign words. So I'm extremely curious if the first 20 devil fruits were not from this world. Maybe the moon, maybe some other planet. Lunarians maybe have brought these 20 fruits into this One Piece world. Insane, I know, but it's also an interesting indication that Luffy's devil fruit, even when we learned about it being the sun god fruit, is that still spelled with kanji? Is Joy Boy's fruit not one of the first 20? Very curious about that. Of course, I just forgot about the 20 kingdoms. So yes, the 20 kingdoms all had the original 20 devil's fruits, which means that Joy Boy may have had the first natural fruit on this planet as a way to fight back against the 20 kingdoms. Mother Nature wants to protect itself, and so if there is an invading force, it will do what it can through evolution to protect itself. Man, insane chapter, absolutely insane chapter. Let me know what you all thought, because freaking cinema, it's a break week, but you know what, Oda? Rest up, buddy. Holy, I'll see you later. Goodbye now. Bye-bye.